Hey, alright. Nope, I did not forget about you or this game. Um, I know it's been quite a while. I'm still working on it. Yep, don't worry. Um, just a lot been going on this past week, which is weird because actually I haven't been working this past week. Uh, I mean, obviously not on this, but I haven't even been working at my day job because I've been out of a day job. I start the new one on Monday. And there's just a lot of, I don't know, this week's just been a lot of coordinating some uh, renovation projects at home and errands and running around. Um, yeah. So, and then, I don't know, so for the next week or two, I might not be able to to get on very much because I'll kind of be staying over at my dad's while more work is being done at our place here. So just replacing the kitchen, dining room, bathroom, hallway, and just a whole bunch of stuff like that. Lots of chaos. Anyway, yeah. What I'll probably be doing is just working on a build that's on my laptop, and then, which is not really in sync with what I got here. It's a little out of date, but it allows me to just kind of scribble down some attempts at trying things, which is what I'm going to get into here. So what I was working on during the week was I wanted to do sprite palette stuff. So basically, being able to change colors in the sprite without um, having to create new art. Um, and this is stuff, I mean, it's super common in like old, at Super Nintendo games and stuff, just swapping around the colors of the same sprites. But I want to be able to do that. Um, why now? Well, we'll see. I mean, one thing is because, so I want to, so where I left off, let's see here. Come on, yeah. He's still there. One thing I wanted to do, right, so I mean, we see that if we go outside, okay, yeah, there's no house. So the next thing to do would be to add a house. Um, and actually I have, yeah. Well, it's not going to quite look like this for multiple reasons. One, I mean, it's going to actually be properly layered and positioned, and yeah, it wouldn't be doing this. One thing though, I actually haven't figured out if I wanted to make it, to scale, basically, which is pretty much what this is. It's pretty much you go outside and the house actually takes up all the space that it does when you're inside. But in a lot of games, it's not like this. And you can kind of see why. I'm starting to see why. It's kind of a drag just to have the house this giant. Usually they abbreviate it. I mean, even games now, if you play Animal Crossing, the houses are like tiny. They're like 5 times the size of your character, and then when you go inside, they're enormous. Um, and that always kind of bugged me, but now I'm starting to see why. I mean, it's kind of a drag just having this much space. It just takes up a lot. I kind of get the idea of just abbreviating it just for gameplay's sake. But anyway, that's not even... What I want to do with palettes here is... So, I mean, the house is very gray. I want to be able to color it in-game, like dynamically, and not have to make a whole bunch of different textures that you have to load in, and just with just different colors. And I don't want to just make one, the house one color and then just kind of change the hue and saturation. That's not... Like, what if I want to really customize every single color in it? Because there's going to be a lot of houses in the game. You're going to go outside, it's like a suburban town. A lot of houses, a lot of buildings. A lot of them look really similar. So I'm going to get away from that because that's jarring. A lot of them will look really similar. And so a way to vary it up is just to change up the colors, just to make stuff look not so samey. So, yeah. So anyway, that's what I wanted to kind of do, is how am I going to actually palletize these things. And I know I'm thinking it could probably be done in a shader. Just have a shader, like give it, you know, if you find color X, replace it with color Y. Me not being good at shaders, I kind of came across this thing. This is great. This guy just did a tutorial, this Daniel person, and I kind of just went through this. This was great. What his technique was, for every color in the sprite, if you can replace a color based on its red value. Basically, a way to quickly tell, you know, based on a color, swap it out with another color. And basically the key is any color with red value, say 254, it can like swap into, you know, he has a way of like specifying target colors. And so pretty much any, when I'm looking at it in, so here we go into this thing. Although, why did I throw that up? You know, for example, the way that I mean for that to work, so this is a piece of the house. I have the house broken up. And so we can see, like, each color here, obviously they're all gray, they have their own RGB values. This red value is 128, kind of the outer trim is like 32, and then you can just draw it like this, or you can optionally say, okay, every time you come into a color with red value 32, like this one, replace it with a whole different color. And that technique seems simple enough to me. It seems like there would be enough. I mean, that gives you basically 255, 256, a palette of that's that big. That's plenty. Especially for like small sprites like this. I mean, the house object from before is actually just this and then a whole bunch of other little components. Yeah, it's got all these pieces in it. The windows, I mean, they're not even like perfectly spaced. I gotta like do that. But so some houses won't have a garage. They might have another window here. Some might have different, just like one of these windows over here. Maybe some houses have, you know, just you can kind of build it out of components like this. And then I'll probably prefab this and then make it dynamically loaded. That's ultimately the goal. But I want to be able to attach some data to it to say, change up your colors for this particular instance. Yeah, so anyway, let me actually get to doing that. I have some idea how I would approach this because I was working on it a little bit on my laptop. So the shader, I just kind of took the shader from that dude. I mean, he's giving it out. It's not private. But my experience with shaders is I kind of know enough to utilize them, but if I were to make them from scratch, I still don't really know how to do that very well. This is that shader. And I'm like, I don't know a lot of the syntax, whatever, but here's like where the magic quite literally is going on. Yeah, basically the palette is a separate texture. If you run into a color with a given red value, then you just kind of do the swap. Yeah, I'm not going to walk through this because what I will say though, I think for it to work on all platforms, I was reading up something where you wanted to make fixed into floats. Something about Android. I don't even know if I'm going to target Android, to be honest, but anyway, I'm just going to make that quick switch. But so pretty much now what I want to make a new script that I can throw onto like pieces of this house and say, replace this color with that color. And then at runtime, it should do the swap. Let's just call it palletized sprite. Does that even make sense? Palletized? I feel like it does. Okay. And now, basically what I want is... I gotta make... Right, sprites work with materials. What I gotta do is... Do I even have a folder for that? Seems not. I'll just make one. I gotta totally revisit how I want to do this whole project hierarchy structure. Stuff is just kind of in random spots. Palletized sprite material. And it's going to be using that. And I think that's all I need to do for it right now. Because in code I can actually do the rest. Anyway, this script I'm going to have, I'll have to, because I'm not totally sure how the material instancing works, I think I have to expose it. I'll just assign it in the inspector like that. And then ultimately what I want is like a dictionary, and I want to expose it in the inspector. Unity is famous for not, by default, letting dictionaries show up in the inspector, which is horribly dumb, I think. But another handy guy made a something on the asset store that I just downloaded for actually exposing dictionaries to the, like, doing the custom editor code, which is just, yeah, it's just a little bit of extra legwork, but super useful. This is his stuff. So he has these, so when you want to, he made the serializable dictionary, but the way it works, I was reading a little bit about it, if you want to actually make your own dictionary, you could just make one of these like this and then put in any two types, but it won't by default show up in the inspector. So what I need to do, there is this object color dictionary. What I want is like byte color, buzz byte, because you have basically the red value is 1 byte. And I want to basically do something like this. Then the other thing that you have to do to get it to show up is like just declare it again here to give it, extend the property drawer. So this is kind of like his code, and I'm just throwing stuff in here, like just to differentiate between stuff that he did and stuff that I did. What did I do? Darn it. Just because, like, hey, this wasn't here by default. Nah, no. Okay. And then I can do this. Yeah, basically just recolors. And that should show up. I'd have to throw it on to, let's throw it on to, let's do that big double window up top. Where is that? This? Living room window, yeah. Has a sprite renderer. Let's do that. Recolors. So I can add, what, let's see, so what color is, if I go into here, that's not it. Open up this. Is 128. Okay, oh yeah, it was the same as the other window. So if I see red value of 128, let me swap that out with like a nice, like a light bluish, something like that. I don't know. And what else do we have going on? We have this outer trim. It's 32. Maybe I'll make that like a brown. Yeah, this is exactly the kind of interface that I wanted. This is just kind of do that. Yeah. And let's see, the shutters, yeah, they can be like, I don't know, maybe like dark blue and light blue. Maybe this would be a dark blue. So 64 can be like a dark blue, and then this is 208. Could be like a lighter blue. Maybe green. Okay. So 64 and 208. Yeah. Okay. I don't have to list every color in the sprite. It should, So anyway, so that's the data I'm expecting to give it. And then, like, ideally when I run the game, it just kind of becomes that color. Like, yeah, each of those assigned colors will swap out to being these. But I have to program that in. And I was kind of doing this on my laptop on the build there. So you have to hold on to the sprite render. And this is like the second texture that the shader uses. The primary texture being what is being fed in, the grayscale image is the primary texture, and then the secondary texture, this will contain colors that should be swapped in for the appropriate red value. So basically, yeah, maybe start is an okay time to do it. Maybe I'll have to allocate this. And the way it works, because it's going off of red values, it's like a 256 by 1. I might make that like a 16 by 16, because I feel like maybe that sits better in video memory. But anyway, for now, I'm pretty sure this will work. Texture format, RGBA. 32. Not no bitmaps, it's not linear filtering, no. In fact. It's got to be point. Then I'm gonna make the whole thing just blank. XY color.clear. And then, so maybe it's a little redundant, but I go through that dictionary that was provided in the inspector. So it's basically for every red value, that's like an X into the recolor texture. Selecting one of those elements and then set it to that color. So meaning every time we run into... Oh, what am I doing? Every time we run into a color with... Like basically the recolor texture is a 256 by 1, and right now it's going to only have 4 actual colors in it. 4 pixels out of the 256 pixels will actually be used. And then the rest of it is just going to be alpha, and that way, like, if any other colors are run into, nothing will happen, because it'll just be clear, and when it does like a color multiplication, yeah, because this would be 0, and then it's basically going to defer to whatever color was passed in. Which is why you only have to specify like certain colors, like only as many as you want. You don't have to specify replace alternate colors for every single and unique color in the texture. You could basically just say, anytime you find this one color in this sprite, just color it purple, and then everything else is left alone. Okay, oh, and then to actually commit the changes to the texture. Oops. So make the sprite renderer use this material, and then but first, since it uses that right, because that's called just making sure I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, swap text. And we can just call it whatever we want, really, but yeah. Main text, and then swap text. That's like the secondary texture, and then we're setting it to this one that we generated ourselves based on what was passed into the script. We actually don't need an update. So basically, this just happens at startup. What do you think, Unity? So now what I'm expecting, because we put this onto this texture, onto the living room window. When I start it up, we should see a differently colored living room window, which is actually over here. Oh no. It didn't do anything. Oh. Wait, no. Okay, I thought I had something. Oh. Whoops. That'll do it. That was dumb. Oh, okay, alright. Did we do it? Ooh, look at that! Look at that. That's a differently colored thingy. Cool. Ah, it's ugly. But, okay. Alright. Alright, alright. I don't really know what color that should be. Because having the glass just look like that, I mean, maybe I would have like... Maybe I'd have it alpha and then have something behind it. Kind of just like a reflection, kind of. I don't know. I'm going to do something about that, but okay. Well, yeah. So now... Yeah, that's the green, dark green, the brown, I'm thinking kind of what I want is just to put... is to kind of put the sprite, the script on this, on the parent object, and then have it apply to everything in the children. I wonder if that's... I wonder if that's... I mean, yeah, I mean, I suppose I could do that. I wonder if that's, like, a good practice? Yeah, let me put it here. Not entirely sure how this is instanced. I wonder if... Just to kind of double check that. So if I say now I want the double window, that's the downstairs one. But now say I want... just for... Maybe I want red and not green. Will it do that? Will it actually instance the material? No. So like one of them, it's probably like an arbitrary one, just takes priority. Yeah. Alright. That's something I have to research a little bit. let me see if I can do a quick, like apply it to all of the children. Like I have it here, and then I could just say that that's a I think I really just have to get components in children. I think that. And then pretty much do this. Oh, never mind. That can be done here. Like, can that just color the entire house for me? Oops. No, I don't want Visual Studio Code. Darn it. That's from what that's the localization stuff I had from last time. Public. Let's say yes to that, and then hmm. It didn't seem to set it. It's still on Sprites default. Oh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yep. I didn't copy enough over. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I did. I did exactly that. Well, we can do everyone's favorite. Bring it under the debugger. What would I do without this thing? I can tell you what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't be making games. Oh, maybe that's a little dramatic. Oh, it's disabled. Alright, I mean, I feel like I don't need the debugger now. I know, bold words. It was disabled, that's why it wasn't doing anything. Ooh, yeah, that's good. Well, I think it's good. Let me make sure. I can't quite get over there yet, but I can, come on, open the door. Oh yeah. Because of the layering, it doesn't really know. Alright, but that's good. So I can pretty much palette like the entire house on this one thing, this one parent object. That's good. Can I like see, why are there 36 batches? Why are there this many triangles? Well, at least my frame rate's good. I don't need it to be that good. Okay, cool. Yeah, now, wanting to instance that material, I have to look up how to do that. I'm sure it's not that hard, but it is something I'm going to have to keep in mind, because right now, I don't think it is. Let me just take a look at it. Oh, enable GPU instancing. I wonder if that's what I need to do. I wonder if I wonder if that would just do it. I mean, one way to quickly tell would be to duplicate this and kind of move them around a little bit. That's terrifying. Let's put it over here. And then if I change, let's change it to red. So this means over here I still have my green and blue. And then if I go over here, no, it didn't. I want to know why. Well, alright, that GPU instancing flag didn't seem to be the... I don't know. I'm gonna have to really, truly make a way to, I don't suppose... No, yeah, that's not gonna be... I think we got everything that we need out of that. Or, let's see if we come up with anything. Like, what does that actually do when you say enable instancing? Yeah, okay, yeah, what does this actually mean? Okay, yeah, enable instancing. Oh. per instance properties. When you declare color as an instance property, where do you do that though? It's not really, that's just a regular property. I mean, this shader already has. Maybe like I have to say per renderer data here? Seems like in their example they don't I don't see anything oh, instancing buffer? Is that what was meant by what the heck is this then? Just want to look that up. What is that? Yeah, maybe I gotta do this material property block. I mean, I guess it's worth a try. Maybe this is it also a per renderer data? The swap text. I'm not mega sure on that. No, didn't seem to do what I needed. Alright, well, I can probably, I'll just dig some more and probably get to the bottom of this. Curious, I'm curious. I'm gonna have to search this some more, because that's the next step now. Now I have this. But then, yeah, it's only like... I could just make more than one of this, but no, then I want it to be entirely dynamic, where I don't want to have to keep making a new material for each object that I'm going to make. No, that kind of defeats the purpose of doing all this stuff at runtime. Yeah. Alright, well, I might just end up cutting it here. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep researching that a little bit. So that I can then just be able to make, you know, a bunch of different of these houses outside, and then that's pretty much what's gonna happen. In fact, that is something I can do now before I cut out here. Well, yeah, I'm not going to do that just yet. I was going to say I can make this like a prefab and have it come up at runtime, but I don't really need to do that right now. That's just kind of trivial to do. But yeah, I would have just the house be over here. Now he's over here. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking I would not... I'm kind of thinking I wouldn't have them be at scale like this. Because that's huge. It's not necessary. But it would, I mean, it'd look... I never like when you have to... when, like, the character looks almost as big as the house. I mean... It works fine in basically every other game, so... Alright, well there's just that kink to work out, and then I'm going to actually start making a real outdoor map with placeable things, and then I can have like lots of versions of them and just recolor them. And then that's the next step on making something that actually looks like a game for me, so... yeah. Alright, so I don't know if I can get on... if I'll be able to get on again anytime too soon. Maybe this week, maybe I can, because starting a new job, and I won't actually be home, so yeah, I'll kind of be touch and go with this contract work going on, so but I'll still be puzzling away at stuff like on my laptop, and I'll keep some momentum, and then yeah. All right, until whenever